I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations.
Hello everybody, it's your boy ThrillerXero back over here with a new video today. After I've been on a break for a while, since I posted my Mario movie trailer thoughts video. So I decided to return with a different video today, and it's about this specific quote-unquote anime thing like show that's been on the internet for a while, and this isn't even Japanese made show at all, since it's produced in Texas. So I know some of you guys might have heard of this show before, and it's unfortunately called Rwby, and it's fucking spelled out W-B-Y. That's exactly the name of the show is, and I know nothing about this show other than having a shit fan base and a bunch of high school or college dropout thoughts fighting a whole bunch of alien wolf-like monsters called the Grims. Kinda like a Grim Reaper who slashes the host throat clean, so no more anime for life. And when I obviously saw parts of this shit show, I gotta say I do not like the animating and shit, and worse of all, it's got a bad comedy spin-off show called Rwby Chibi.
No, don't pull, no. Ah! Damn!
Since this shit is like about 3 seasons long, and are like 3 to fucking 7 minutes in length with the episodes, this could possibly be a longer video as we're going to cover the cringiness of the whole web series, and this could possibly get a second part or even a third part to cover more of this shit and possibly make a trilogy on it. So anyways, let's take a look at the first, so beginning with covering the first episode, as we are going to at least cover 23 fucking more episodes with the first season. The first episode we are talking about is how exactly Rwby is making cookies. Let's take a look, shall we? I know this shit is just her trying to be quote-unquote funny or some shit, but how the fuck can eggs be indestructible and there is no reason for you to dunk it like it's a fucking basketball? That's some god tier good ass humor you got there, and the rest of the further parts continue with her being a retard, like pouring a whole ass bag of flour into the fucking floor and dusting the fucking air with it like you should clean up the kitchen. After you make that shit mess, if I were the house owner and saw that shit happen, I'd whop her ass to death, and her consuming a whole ass bag of chocolate chips just to be damn better. I'm not surprised you never became overweight after that bullshit, nor you were going to suffer from a risk factor for cardiovascular disease, because that's how exactly what are going to be the effects after you shove that shit down your throat, and it's not very healthy for you to be. And more tardiness comes after. They're just trying to make itself funny, how original they can be. Before we cut to the second half of the shit episode, we see Rwby trying to fucking do a how to basic style of how to dunk your cookie into milk. That's some cheap ass rip-off humor you got there. And now we see what appears to be Risu's one of the 40 members of Rwby's wannabe superhero team. She's also an S-death rip-off too, playing how to pin a tail to a donkey correctly with a katana, adding some cheap ass dope comedy humor. That's not my favorite thing to do. And we get cut to another scene where it shows what appears to be Rwby's bedroom, and holy shit, her voice is so annoying as fuck and cringy at the same time that I just wanted to slowly die from a painful experience after hearing that shit.
I guess I'll go check out the...
After skipping a boring scene of her reading a novel, we cut to an epic anime battle scene. Yay, this is so epic, dude. Look at this amazing fight scene. This actually beats Marvel movie fight scenes in comparison to them. I didn't even know this is also GTA 6 leaked gameplay. Final part, we get to see what appears to be Blake looking for her quote-unquote lost book until Rwby appears out of nowhere and Will Smith slaps the shit out of her.
This is Phil.
Classic Will Smithing style. I know this may be old, but it's there to describe what this show is all about, and that damn nice face expression demons tonight.
Can we borrow some of your books?
You assuming I'm a human, what I gotta do to get it through to you? I'm superhuman, innovative, and I made a promise, so that anything you say is ricocheting off of me and it'll
So now moving on to the next episodes with these seasons, since we already covered the first episode, and I believe it took like 5 minutes of this video to review all of its scenes, but it's going to take long, and I don't want this to also be rushed as well. But how about we instead talk about the most shittiest parts of the show, but let's not try our best to go too fast with it. So the second episode begins with the gang watching news television, with the newscaster's voice sounding like a Chinese woman working at a local supermarket, and it's titled The Cat Burglar, so I might spoil this on purpose, but I think Blake might have been behind the scenes of making this look so funny. After being quiet for a handful of seconds, and turning their faces onto Blake, because she exclaims that she's quote unquote part cat. Wow. Plus you don't even look part cat at all with that stupid bow tie on top of your head, like what the hell are you on? Then she walks out of the room, after being presumably accused of being a burglar. Blake tells the rest of the Rwby gang that she's going to report them on Roblox for falsely accusing her of being with a pair of cookies and milk, thus steals a plant pot nearby. The gang tries talking with each other and discusses what the hell is going on. And we cut back to them listening to what the hell is going on with the newscast, as they all feel terrified at the same time of what is going on. We are going to skip this boring goofy newscasting scene, and then cut to Weiss doing a fucking skating lesson on ice, until she fucking dies. Jokes aside, she's actually with her gang on ice together. Skipping that part, we are actually introduced into a new epic anime battle scene. This has to be better than before. Oh wait a minute, no, it's just skipping rope, the same game I used to play at school. And skipping that boring gameplay, we get cut into this kid whose leg is hurt and he later fucking dies in an explosion. The episode ends with the two gang members talking about Blake's favorite fetish toy until Rwby comes out of nowhere and takes its shit for herself. And that's the end of the episode. And so basically I just reviewed the first 2 of their episodes and holy shit, this show seems like it was directed and made for kids. Like the models look like they came out of a children's cartoon show out of Treehouse. But pointless as it is, I guess the 22 other episodes we are looking at are going to follow the same repetitive formula, as I can't really cover enough all of their parts of the episodes in one season fitting into one video. And after all of this, I just realized it's just like me covering a whole last season of one shitty anime parody.
I'm gonna show all the chibi episodes to my kids when they're 4, and then when they're 14 I'm gonna show them real Rwby and watch them as their childhood is ripped away from them.
OMG, I can't believe he's actually going to ruin their childhood, after he's now going to show the real mainstream Rwby anime show. I can't wait for that shit to happen. Now let's take a look at it.
Well, that was idiotic. Off to hang myself, horse and left.
So now we are going to talk about the conclusion for everything with this video. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of this shit at all. The voice acting is cringe. The humor looks like it came out straight from a children's cartoon show, and so are the models. The writing is literally childish as fuck, and it's just like junior to the mainstream Rwby as to how gacha life, aka the worst thing on this planet, is like a sibling to anime itself. That's what Rwby chibi is in a nutshell. And I'm not sure if I can continue like this with the 2 remaining seasons, like 2 and 3 up next, but I believe it's going to be a repeat like this video, since it follows a chain of pointless humor like the ones I've covered with this video. So anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, since it's been exhausting, while since I was dying from the cringe of watching this shit on YouTube. What are your thoughts about this show? Let me know down in the comments below, and see you guys on the next video. Ciao.